Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing my best of beauty video for the year. This is my favorite video to film every single year. I get to go over the best products, the best launches. I actually have a product in every category this year, which sometimes doesn't happen, but this year was so good for makeup for me that we have a lot to go over. I already did a dedicated fragrance best of. If you guys have not seen that already, I will link it above for you. This is strictly makeup and beauty for this year. I have all kinds of products, brushes, all the tools that I use. You'll guess a lot of my favorites if you've been watching my channel this year, keeping up with my favorites. I even did a best of books this year too, if you want to check that out too. So this is all my beauty. Cannot wait to jump into this video. So thank you guys so much for all the support this year. Cannot believe it's the end of the year. Hope you enjoy this video as much as I enjoy filming it, and let's begin this video. So I'm going to go over complexion first, move to eyes, lips, finish off with tools. I'm going to start with how I apply my makeup, which is primer, and I have 3 to mention. I'm trying to keep it as concise as possible. Some categories I could only mention 1. I think my most is 5 in the eyeshadow palettes, but I'm going to try and cut it back while I film this video. But these are my 3 favorite primers and all really affordable. I don't break up my best of beauty to drugstore and high end. This is, regardless of price point, this is the best of the best for me. This is what makes the top products of the year. Doesn't matter if it's drugstore, doesn't matter if it's high end. These are all affordable and they're all my favorites. So I'm going to start off with what took me by surprise this year was NYX. They started coming out with a ton of products, which you'll see some in my favorites, and I fell in love with this primer. It's the Marshmallow Primer, and this does a great job at prepping the entire face. It is a smoothing, all over smoothing primer, but not a pore filling primer, so this does a great job at just making everything glide on. Makes your makeup last longer and just look better throughout the day. It looks fresher, and I'm almost done this. I was using this up in Project Pan. I honestly have like 1 use left in this. I'm going to be filming that Project Pan video soon, so I'm trying to use that up for that. And then also the Maybelline Master Blur Stick is great if you want to fill in those pores. So I use both of these together. This is specifically for my T-zone though. I've used quite a bit this year. I love the convenience of this stick because you don't have to dig your finger into one of those pots. You can just kind of swipe it on your face, blend it out, you're good to go. So that's why I love it, and it also is really effective. Obviously it fills in those pores, does a great job at that. So have to mention that. And then the last thing that I purchased earlier on in the year, I think around maybe summer though, but this is best for the cooler months for me, and this is what I've been reaching for every day. I'm wearing it today, and it's not a primer, but it's a moisturizer that acts like an amazing primer. If you have dry skin right now, go out and get this. It's from Weleda. It's their skin food, and it's their original ultra rich cream. This is super thick, very hydrating. So if you do not need hydration as much as this, do not pick this up. But if you are dry, you will love this. And this makes your makeup just look so dewy and glowy, and it still makes it last. It doesn't break it apart, because sometimes with really heavy moisturizers like this, it can break apart your makeup. This doesn't do this, so it acts as a really great primer. I got onto this because I was watching a bunch of UK girls and they were using this, and I fell in love with it myself. So I picked that up, absolutely love it. I'm using it more so now though for the cooler months. Just a heads up, it would be much too heavy for me in the summer. I just don't wear as much, but that underneath my makeup now is gold. It is perfection. For primer, if I were to pick my number 1, it would be the Maybelline Blur Stick, just because of the convenience, and it's great for pores. I absolutely need a pore filling primer, so that would be my number 1. And then for foundation, I have 5 here to mention. So I did a bunch of foundation reviews this year if you've been keeping up. 4 of the 5 of these foundations I'm going to mention are affordable. So that says a lot. I love to try everything, and regardless of price point, affordable is winning for me this year, and it is in fact my number 1. But I'm going to start with my high-end one. It's what I'm wearing today. It matches me the best today, and it's the Shiseido Synchro Skin Radiant Lifting Foundation. And I did a whole review on this. I didn't like it as much only because I had the wrong shade. I was using Bamboo, which is good for when I'm not so tan. And then Oak is good right now. That's the color I'm wearing. And this gives you such beautiful luminosity, really youthful looking skin with also the long wear. I need long wear in all my foundations, so absolutely every single one of these wears all day on me. It just depends on the finish and the coverage. So this would be Glam Radiant if I want something like that. If I want something full coverage, long wearing that looks better throughout the day, that you could wear for glam or every day, it's the Sephora Best Skin Ever foundation. Love that for that reason. I also tried out a really nice affordable full coverage glam foundation, which is the Catrice True Skin Hydrating Foundation. And then the last two are from L'Oreal. I loved both of them this year. The True Match Nude Hyaluronic Tinted Serum is good for an everyday, very, very light coverage. And my all-around winner for favorite foundation of the year is the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Foundation with hyaluronic acid. So there are two ones that are on the market currently that market skincare benefits, hyaluronic acid specifically, but they're very, very different. This is like very sheer coverage every day. This is every day, but a medium coverage. And this is my go-to pick out of every single foundation. The most recent video I was wearing this was in my Rem Beauty video. If you wanted to know what foundation I was wearing this True Match foundation. And this has to be my favorite foundation of the year. It wears beautifully and it looks the most natural on my skin. And my skin just feels good wearing it. So that is why it is number one and had to sing its praises because it truly, out of everything, it was my number one always grabbing pick. Then for concealer, I have two to mention. One's an honorable mention and one is 100% number one concealer right now for me. Later on in the year, I discovered the H&B Cosmetics Soft Focus Airbrush Concealer. And this is great if you're looking for something hydrating, but full coverage. Super, super glam. For my everyday concealer, I can wear this for glam, natural makeup, whatever. You guessed it, it is the Kosas concealer with this super long name. It is in fact a daytime eye cream in it. So it has that skincare benefit, which I personally really like for using underneath my eyes, for applying as below my eyeshadow as a base. And I'm scraping the edges of this one currently. I honestly should have picked up one during the last Sephora sale, but I didn't. But this has been my number one most reach for, definitely my top pick. It didn't come out this year, but it's what I discovered this year and I love it so much. Cannot recommend it enough. If you're looking for something hydrating with good coverage that has skincare benefits in it, what more could you want, honestly? Get this concealer. And then for powder, do I need to mention anything but this one powder? I think not. You know what it is. It's the Dior Backstage Powder No Powder. I end up picking up a lighter shade for the cooler months in 2N, and then my tan shade is 3N. I've actually hit pan now on 3N. I'm wearing both of these today. This is 3N. I'm wearing that all over my face. I did hit pan on that recently. And then 2N I wear underneath my eyes. I'm wearing both of these today. I love this powder because it looks really natural on the skin. It does provide a slight bit of coverage if you use it a certain way, which I will be mentioning at the end of the video because that was a total game changer for me. You know what it is. It is a tool that I've been raving about, but it goes hand in hand with this powder, so stay tuned for that if you do not know. I use this as a finishing powder, so I put it all over my face at the end, and it does keep my makeup in place, but still makes it look natural. I never look dry or cakey with this powder. It is perfect. Everything about this. I wish there was more shades though, but it is a perfect powder. I have 5 bronzers here to go over. I'm just going to talk about a few of them quickly because I did narrow this actually down to one bronzer that has been my favorite, but there was a bunch of releases this year. So I discovered Cheekbone Beauty this year. They are an indigenous owned brand available at Sephora Canada if you didn't know, and the bronzer and the blush in this is stunning. So I wanted to mention this product because I love the blush as well, but the bronzer is so good. I love the tone. This is in the shade medium, but if you're looking for a beautiful, beautiful bronzer and blush, great pigment, easy to blend, look no further than this. It was a great price point on Sephora Canada, so had to sing its praises. Then the Huda Beauty Glowish bronzer if I want a subtle glow to my skin. The H&B Cosmetics bronzer in medium golden if I want a matte bronzer that has an olive undertone. The best olive undertone out there. And then the Vive bronzer, which I haven't given enough love to, but I did love this release and it was a really good bronzer. But I have been honestly reaching for this bronzer the most, and it didn't come out this year, I don't think. I have been reaching for this bronzer so much lately, and it's the Gucci bronzer. I honestly didn't think I would fall in love with this bronzer. I bought it on a whim and then I never used it, and then I really got into using it the later months of the year. I have the shade number 3. It looks like this. I'm wearing it on my skin today. It's super natural on my skin tone, and it gives a nice sheen to the skin. Not too glowy, but not matte either. It's like the perfect kind of natural finish, which I really like. So I have been using this so much. It matches me really well with my natural skin tone and undertone. It has slightly red color to it, which I personally really like and looks really flattering on my skin. So that one has been my number one reach for when I'm not trying to use up my MAC Give Me Sun bronzer, which is still my favorite bronzer of all time. But that was in my project pan, which you guys will see coming up soon. Blush. I literally wrote down, I think 10 blushes that I could mention that came out this year. This year was the year of the blush. Like, so many different blushes and brands came out with blush this year. Everyone was doing blush. It became really popular, and I have my top 3 that I had to mention. I really got into cream blushes and mixed with powder, so I'm gonna mention this as my number 1 pick just because it has both in it. It's the Patrick Ta for Face palette. Looks like this. I'm wearing this shade right now on my cheeks, both the cream and the powder, but I love all the shades in this. Since this release, this is what I've been mostly reaching for 90% of the time, but I do have blushes that I was using throughout the year that you guys can guess, which I absolutely love. The Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light Wand High Blush in Pinkgasm. It recently came back in stock on Charlotte Tilbury, and this blush, you guys, every time I swatch it, I fall in love with it. It looks super pigmented when you do that, but you could use like the whole tube on your face. You're not gonna look bad. It's just gonna blend in and look so pretty and effortless on your skin. You could even skip a highlight with this. It just gives you that beautiful pink glow, youthful skin again with that. And then for powder, these are the best powder blushes on the market. These are the Dior Backstage Rosy Glow blushes, and I have the pink and the coral. That's their name, Pink and Coral. And this is what they look like. I use these all the time if I'm reaching for a powder blush. They are so pretty, but they look nothing like their casing. They have a mirror in it actually, but you can see the colors are totally different from what they advertise on the outside. So that is not a see-through lid, which all the Backstage collection is. It does have a mirror, so do not be fooled. The color inside is actually more beautiful than the outside color, I think. So those are my top blushes. I'm sure you could have guessed all 3 of those because I'm pretty sure I mentioned them in my top 3 picks in every category, those exact 3 blushes, because they just really outdo anything on the market for me. My favorite highlight of the year goes to Auric, which launched in January. It's the Auric Glow Lust Radiant Luminizer in Pyrite. I love this for underneath my makeup to give me extra glow, to pat it on my cheekbones if I want to give a natural, super dewy, wet look to the skin. The packaging of this is so luxe. I love everything about the brand, the aesthetic, the quality of the product. It's just so pretty. I have to swatch this for you guys. That is what Pyrite looks like on my skin. Blend it in. It just gives the most beautiful glow to the skin. I'd wear this all over with just a little bit of powder and concealer. It is so pretty on my really good skin days. It's such a beautiful formulation. And then for powder products, these 2 made it into my favorites. I haven't honestly been wearing highlight too much as of lately, but in the beginning of the year, these were definitely my favorite highlights. So we have the NYX High Glass Illuminating Powder, which is kind of like a cream powder hybrid. It's a really interesting formula, if you can see how that looks. So this is definitely more yellow gold on my skin. I blended it in right there though. I have so much highlight going on. But it is really pretty for, again, that wet look to the skin, which I personally love. And then I also discovered the Noblesse Skin Glazing Highlight in Ozone. And I got onto this because of Stephanie Babs Beauty. I'm wearing this today on my skin, and again, it gives that wet look, which is what I love in a highlight. I don't like any highlights to look powdery. It has to buff into the skin to the point where it looks like I poured water on my face. That's how I want my highlight to look. So that is on my face right now, and those are my 3 favorite highlights of the year. Moving on to mascara, I got into using mascara primers again this year, and I love the Lancome Cils Booster XL. This is just great for keeping my lashes conditioned, for giving an extra boost to my mascara, really making it long and voluminous. Highly recommend trying out a mascara primer. And then also I fell in love with this Rare Beauty mascara. I only bought the mini because I don't want to buy full size and then hate something, but I would definitely buy a full size of this in the future. It reminds me of some of my favorite mascaras because it gives volume and length. It has a really great brush for gripping my lashes. I always love reaching for one of these natural bristle brushes specifically for my lashes. I feel like it works the best, and the formula is really, really nice for volume and length. And then for lashes, I discovered magnetic lashes, and I have not looked back. You guys know, or if you don't know, I have a sensitivity to lash glue. It developed over time. I haven't always been like that, but that's how sensitivities can happen. You might not have it one day, and one day you can't wear lashes. Well, I can wear them, but not for a very long period of time. And if I want to wear my lashes all day, wear some magnetic lashes. So specifically, I fell in love with this style of lashes. It is from Glamnetic, and it's the style Baby Girl. It's what I'm wearing on my eyes today. It is the perfect everyday style for me. I can wear it with minimal makeup, a lot of makeup. It just seems to work. For my eyes, it's the perfect style lash. I just love them so much. I ended up buying a couple more at the end of the year to test out that I wanted to use in a trying new makeup, but I have not used these yet. So I have been in love with Glamnetic lashes, specifically the Baby Girl style, which you can get on the Glamnetic website or on Sephora, which is nice that it's convenient there. And then along with that, Glamnetic actually has some magnetic liner pens, which, oh my gosh, how convenient is this? I love pen liners, as you guys know, but to have finally magnetic liner in a pen form and not have to struggle with liquid, which I do struggle with. Thank you, Glamnetic, for doing that. So they do have a black one. I end up picking up the brown shade because I just love brown liner, and I didn't already have a magnetic. I figured I could use up my liquid for the black and then eventually pick up the black version in the Glamnetic. But I'm wearing the brown liner today. Secures my lashes perfectly, and it's great for touch-ups too. So love that it has a pen form. And then I have a couple other liners that I had to mention. You'll know already, for regular black liner, this is the Huda Beauty Life Liner Quick and Easy Liner Pen. It is a brush tip eyeliner, which I discovered I really like. I never thought I had a preference between felt tip and brush tip until I use this liner. It is super thin though, so you can get the thinnest lines possible. It's just so user-friendly and just easy to get that flick. I love this so much. Nice and black, and just the perfect liner in my opinion. I hope they do brown too. Do some more colors in this because that is perfect. And then also I got this Charlotte Tilbury Super Nudes dual eyeliner. It has a cream on one side and a brown on another, and I've just been really into brown in my waterline, specifically this shade. So it's on this dual product here, and I love eyeliners like this. This is super creamy, just a beautiful rich brown shade, just the perfect kind of chocolate brown. So I use that in my waterline all the time. I've been really into eyeliner in my waterline lately. And then for brows, this was at the beginning of the year, and I haven't got another color, but I have to mention this as a discovery this year for brows. It is the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen. And this rivals my Urban Decay Brow Blade because it is super thin. Again, you could even use this for eyeliner. That's how good it is. That's a good idea. That's how I could use you up. Coming up with ideas on the spot. But you can get really nice flicks with this, brow-like hair strokes. And this was just a more affordable way to do my brows than going through the Urban Decay. If, say, the pen wore out before the pencil or whatnot, it's usually the pencil that wears out first. Just having the blade part in a separate one, and then I got the micro brow from NYX too. And it just saved me on brow products because I was going through brow products so fast, and that's a lot of money if you're gonna be spending that. So this is just my affordable alternative that I think is really great. It actually makes smaller hair-like strokes, which is better than the Urban Decay. And then eyeshadow palettes. I had to mention all these. Some of them are most used palettes, and some are just great formulations that needed a mention that are like special palettes. My most reached for palettes this year were Patrick Ta for eyes and the Makeup by Mario. I would probably give my favorite palette to the Patrick Ta, though. I'm wearing that today on my eyes just because it has creams in it, has different sort of finishes, perfect colors of matte shades, some glittery shades to make it fun. It just has my perfect variety in here, and it's not too warm, not cool. It's like a pretty good neutral, leaning slightly warm palette, which is my personal preference. And then for everyday matte colors, I use this all the time. It's my Makeup by Mario matte palette. So when you see me with just basic matte eyeshadow, this is what I'm wearing on my eyes. Hindash came out with a palette that I thought was just so innovative. I have to give this a mention because the pans for eyeshadow have a gradient. So you could truly get any color you want just with this palette and mixing. It's like a makeup artist's dream. So I have had so much fun just playing around with this, and you can also use it on your cheeks. Like I use that color, mix it together, and use that on my cheeks all the time, and it's just so pretty. So this palette from Hindash holds a special place in my heart. It's truly a dream, a dream palette. It's just so innovative. I love what he did with that. And then also for really expensive palette rivals, my next palette, I will say, is this Vanity Makeup Eyeshadow Palette. It is pricey. It's super luxe. The quality is incredible. A lot of you were saying how this reminds you of the Tati Beauty eyeshadow palette, and I can totally see that, honestly. So since you can't get Tati Beauty anymore, this is a really good alternative to it if you want those kind of colors and play with all the different finishes. This is also the blackest black eyeshadow I've ever used in my life in this palette. So I had to mention it, honestly, for that black. That black is my favorite black out there. Overall, this palette is beautiful, really great quality. It is pricey, but worth it in my opinion. And another palette, I finally decided to pick up a Pat McGrath Mothership palette. This is my first Mothership palette. I kept the outer packaging because I loved it so much to keep her secure. And this one is the Utopian Dream palette. This is truly special. This was the first Pat McGrath palette that ever made me feel like I could spend that kind of money on the palette. So it has such beautiful, unique shades in it, really fun finishes, and the color story is just insane. Like, this is truly stunning. I cannot get enough of this. I treat her with care, and I had to mention her in this video because she is my baby. Our last category is lips. I'm going to start off with lip balm, and that's something that I use honestly every day compared to any sort of lip product, gloss or lipstick. These are what I reach for on the daily. If my lips need a lot of care, like in the winter, this is what I'm reaching for. I love the Burt's Bees Rescue Balm with turmeric, the cooling eucalyptus one. This is reparative to my lips. If my lips are flaking, cracked, whatever, this is what I'm reaching for. I keep this in my purse. This is winter's enemy. Like, it is gonna combat the cold weather. It is so good. Use that on my kids too. It works perfectly. And then I also fell in love with this really pricey lip balm, but I truly love it so much. I'm almost done my second one now. This is the La Mer, the Lip Volumizer. And this gives me the most juicy, glossy lips. Volumizes them without any sort of painful plumping sensation. This is really good for before bedtime because it has like a sweet mint sort of scent to it, or every single day. In the morning, I just put this on. It gives me a hint of color, but the perfect amount of shine. So I love that just for daily wear. I reach for it all the time. And then this for the smell. This is the Laneige Lip Glowy Balm in Gummy Bear. Have the lip sleeping mask as well. This has that sheer purple color, which I absolutely love. Think it's super flattering, but also the smell. If you like grape candy, I'm so happy they made this permanent. This smell, because it is my favorite smell out there. Can we just make everything grape scented? I know that's not for everyone, but for me, Lip pencil, we had some new ones that came onto the scene that are amazing. And I purchased one of the ones from Jaclyn Cosmetics. It's not my top pick this year, but it is an honorable mention. I have the shade Coffee Cake here. It's just a really pretty everyday color. Would honestly go perfect with what I'm wearing today. Like that color all over my lips. It matches. Set you aside. Melt Cosmetics came out with new lip pencils. I have 3 here. If you're looking for an olive tone pencil, check out Sepia. I keep raving about this because olive tone makeup is really hard to find. So Sepia will be your best friend. It is an olive tan. And then I also have cinnamon and cashmere. Cinnamon reminds me of Spice from MAC, and that's why I really like it. And the new formula from Melt Cosmetics is incredible. But my number 1 pick for the year is actually from Makeup by Mario, and it's the shade Travis. This is what I'm wearing on my lips today. I cannot get enough of this color. It's the perfect chocolate brown shade right there. It's a pencil formula, but it is still really creamy, but not too creamy. And I love that it comes with a brush on the end, which mine is frayed and I need to clean because I genuinely use the brush. When I'm blending out my line into my lip color, it comes in so handy. So I love that he included a brush at the end. It's just one of those things that a makeup artist would think of. So this color, the best, my favorite lip pencil of the year. For lipstick and lip gloss, I honestly could limit both categories down to just 1 each, which is saying a lot because I feel like a lot of times lips can get carried away. But these are what I've been reaching for all the time. At the end of the year, I kind of got back into a little matte kick with lipstick. And if you want to know, I have Yash and Faux, 2 different kind of colors right there, in case you're curious. But I can honestly limit it down to just the 1 lipstick. And Charlotte Tilbury came out with her Super Nudes collection, which I fell in love with. I love all the lipsticks. She came out with that. But the number 1 lipstick, what I'm wearing on my lips right now, is Cover Star from the Super Nudes collection. It is a beautiful light nude, which you can manipulate with lip pencils. Perfect in my opinion. I love the formula, the packaging, everything about Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks. It is the best of the best. If you've not tried one of her lipsticks, you can start with Cover Star. You will be so happy with that. And then my favorite gloss of the year. Shocker, it is the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb Heat in Hot Cherry. If I'm wearing a glossy lip, 90% of the time it is Hot Cherry. I love this color so much, and it does really plump up your lips. This is beautiful on its own. On top of anything, it is the most beautiful red sheer gloss that gives you a warmth to your lips without being too much. So that is why I love it so much. And that's everything for the makeup. But we have some tools that I wanted to mention. The Beauty Blender Pocket Puff. Are you shocked? No. This product has to be the thing that you guys tag me in the most. So out of anything I've ever recommended, I think this is the thing that you guys have gone crazy for, which I'm so happy you're on this puff train with me, because how it makes a difference in the application of your makeup, and even just to touch up your face, just put this puff on and it's like magic to your skin. So I'm so happy you guys love it as much as me. It's my number 1 tool. I use it with the Dior powder to press it into my skin, and I have a flawless canvas and great for touch-up. So have to sing its praises one more time. My favorite foundation brush of the year goes to the BK Beauty 101 brush. I have, I think, 3 of these at this point. All of them are dirty and need to be washed. That's what I was gonna do after this video, is wash all my brushes. So all these brushes are dirty. I really love the face brushes that came out with the Morphe and Ariel collection. I do like the eye brushes too, but the face ones specifically are super soft and perfect for application. I also picked up the Makeup by Mario F1 brush, which is really nice if you want something quick for foundation and concealer and you like dual-ended brushes. And then if you're looking for small detail eye brushes, Rougher is the place to go. I don't have too much eye space that I'm working with. That's why I really love the brushes that Rougher does. They do the smallest detail brushes on the market. I've been able to find so many little tiny blenders for my eyes, which is perfect. So these are a few that I wanted to mention. Really nice in size. If you want something small for crease work, if you have smaller eyes, you just need those detail brushes, check out Refer. I'll link them below. But we have the 13, their pencil brush, which is the number 3, and then we have this little blender, which is the number 14. All in that area through 16 have really good blenders that I have found for Refer, so definitely check them out if you're looking for some small detail brushes. They have even more than that, but those are the top 3 that I'd recommend. And then the last thing I wanted to mention is random, but I found a new tanner this year, and I don't often find tanners that I like enough to recommend, and this one is a really good price. You can get it on Beauty Bay. It is from Suzanne Jackson Dripping Gold Luxury Tanning Mousse. It's around $25 Canadian, and then you do get some taxes and duties at the door. Beauty Bay has sales all the time, so that's when I pick up my tanner, and it works out to be a really great affordable tan for me to get. This one has hyaluronic acid, vitamin A and E for added moisture and healthy skin, which is good because mousses for me can be really drying. This one is less so than others and is also the darkest tan I use. I have the ultra dark mousse. It's what I'm wearing today. It is super dark, the darkest I've ever tried, and it's a really good price. So I had to mention that, and that is the last thing for my best of beauty for 2021. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is extremely long video, as it always is, but so much fun to film. Like, this is truly the makeup that makes me happy, that I reach for, that stole the show and the beauty world this year for me specifically. If you're needing some makeup recommendations, I hope this video helps you out. There is something for everyone in this video, I feel like, in every single category. If you're looking for some new makeup to purchase that has blown me away out of every single thing that I've tried this year, which has been a lot. As always, I would love to know what your favorite products of the year are in the comment section below. So create a discussion, let me know, give me your list. I'd love to know what you're loving because I always find great recommendations from you guys. Thank you guys so much again for spending some time with me, for clicking on this video. I appreciate you more than you know. I would love if you would subscribe if you haven't already, to join the family here by hitting the red subscribe button, the bell if you want to be notified of all my future videos, and I will see you guys in my next one.